What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA's Fantasy Fast Break. I'm Jean Fernandez, and I hope you're ready for your weekly doses of laughter, NBA news, and fantasy analysis. And before we begin, don't forget, if you enjoy this content, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, because it really makes a difference. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right to it. And this week, Halloween was celebrated, and as usual, players wore their costumes. And the word is that at the Pelicans headquarters, they agreed to dress up as dominoes, and apparently Zion misunderstood what is it that they were doing. At least we know where his head is at. And Lonzo Ball tried to do his best impression of Neo from The Matrix, and he needed every bit of it in a game because he nearly got his head taken off by Joel Embiid.
You think or no? Oh, he just punched. Yeah, he did. Embiid. Oh, wow.
Joel Embiid, who has been struggling a bit and even missed a game this week due to a knee issue that took place earlier in the season after knocking knees with Jonas Valanciunas. Look, the reality here is that if you drafted this guy thinking he'd play a full season for you, you'll be very disappointed. What's really scary though is that he's having these serious issues so early in the season. So if I were you, I'd try to find a buyer before this gets worse, because again, he will miss more games. One player we didn't get pictures from though was Kevin Durant. But he did the nastiest thing. I mean, much more than any costume that he could have worn on court. And it's that he broke down Torrey Craig's ankles and he sent them flying.
Indiana's 4 of 5 from long range. Durant's got 11. Craig goes down. Durant has got a highlight. Had the foul to give.
Ankle breaker. Oh. Kevin Durant is one bad man. That was cold. The bench can't believe it.
Now, one observation about KD in fantasy is that he's shooting a relatively low amount of three-pointers. In fact, he's shooting the lowest amount since his second year on the league, and percentage-wise, he's shooting 37% compared to the 45% last year. However, that's closer to his actual career percentage, so I'm not too worried about that. This does bring up the controversy about the new ball, and as you might know, the NBA switch from Spalding to Wilson as their official ball after 38 years. And now, field goal percentages are down to the lowest levels in 2004, while three-pointer percentages are the lowest since 1999. Now, some players have already come out and expressed themselves about this. For example, Paul George said that he does think that the ball has a lot to do with this, and that the Wilson ball is not as soft as the Spalding ball was. Now, about that, I'll say the following. Back in the day, we used to go play with balls with no grip. We had to endure the double rim, and on occasion we had to deal with the wind as well. So you that are getting paid millions to play the game and score the ball, figure it out. But one player I would try to get on my team is fellow Sixer Tobias Harris. And he's been enjoying a very successful season this year, particularly with Ben Simmons out and having more responsibilities in the offense. And we thought that he'd have an opportunity to shine further now with Embiid sitting out and all that. But then all of a sudden,
COVID-19!
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 Outblow! The wind of God! COVID-19!
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 Outblow! The wind of God! You don't do it! You don't do it! You don't do it! You get out of here! Now!
And right now there are 5 players that are out with COVID protocols. Tobias Harris being one of them. Kevin Love, Lauri Markkanen, Chris Middleton, and Jakob Poeltl. And there is some short-term value here, mostly streamer, but value nonetheless, so adjust accordingly. For the Cavaliers, Sheedy Osman, he might be able to get more minutes in and contribute. As far as the Bucks go, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, they have been on the radar for a while, more so now, and I would add George Hill to that list, particularly since Drew Holiday is still out. For the Sixers, Korkmaz and Niang would be very good sources of 3-pointers. I'm more of a fan of Korkmaz as far as the 2 of those go. And for the Spurs, Thaddeus Young finally gets off the bench, and he could be a good source of steals. One guy, though, who will have no value for the rest of the season is Patrick Williams, who after breaking his wrist is expected to miss the regular season. And he was the starting power forward for the Bulls, not contributing a lot, but certainly getting minutes. And so now those minutes are probably going to get diluted between a couple of players, but mainly I would keep my eye on Derrick Jones Jr., airplane mode. This guy, I think he has potential defensively. He can get things done. He can get you some steals, blocks in particular. So those in deeper leagues might definitely want to grab him while they can, while as those that are in shallower leagues should keep an eye on him in case he decides to start performing consistently. Someone who does have long-term value is Montrezl Harrell, who after leaving the Lakers has regained his 6th Man of the Year form with the Wizards, and he's really looking good. And I feel really sorry for those that drafted Daniel Gafford and thought that this was the year where he was going to be a revelation. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening with Montrezl in the fold, so perhaps it'll be next year. So I don't really think that the season can be safe for him other than being a specialist in shot blocking. But Harrell, man, he's looking strong. He's even making 3-pointers. He actually made a 3 the other night. That was his first since March 30 of 2019. So that should tell you how good of a season he's got going. Everything's going well. So those of you that have him, enjoy the ride. Someone who's not having a good time, though, is this year's first-round pick in the draft, Cade Cunningham, who finally made his debut in the NBA after returning from injury and scored 2 points. Aww. Well, but he got better on the second game, and he improved by scoring 6 points.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with rookies. Oftentimes it takes a little bit of patience because it takes them a while to figure things out. So I think he should be fine. But at this point, I would not play him. I mean, he's putting up some lines that are destroying percentages. So I would not risk it. I would wait until he finally shows that he can get it done to then start him. Now, a rookie who has been scoring both in and outside of the court is Josh Giddey. And he has really proven to be the complete package, not only contributing offensively, but also defensively. He's been getting good steals and particularly blocks as well, which are pretty rare to be found among point guards. So if I were you, I would take this opportunity to try and get him on my team, because I feel like the window to maybe get him at a discounted price is closing fast. And outside of the court, he's having some success too, because they caught him the other day after a game taking pictures and exchanging information with a couple of ladies. It looks like he wants to follow in the footsteps of Louis Williams, who was thanking his 2 girlfriends the other day in a post. Now take it easy, my young Padawan. You only turned 19 the other day, so pace yourself. That's all we have for the NBA's Fantasy Fast Break today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all next week with more laughter, news, and analysis. Take care.